So the Prime Vault for Saren and Valkyrie Prime is about to finish. But we're not going to find ourselves in a situation where we don't actually have a Prime Vault that is open. We're actually going to see ourselves with one Prime Vault that closes and then another one that opens. Okay, so the next one that is coming very soon is... Unless you're watching this later, in which case it's already out. Unless you're watching it later, in which case it's gone. The next one that's coming out will involve Ash Prime and Vauban Prime. Very apt that it's going to be Vauban Prime. So, first off, Ash Prime will come with Vectis Prime. Not Ubona Prime or Galatine Prime. Ignore those two. Ash Prime will specifically come with Vectis Prime. Okay? And you can obviously get the weapons separately if you want. I'm not sure if you can get the WarFrame separately. Probably not, question mark, probably not. Either way, for all of the combinations of things that you can choose to get in every Prime unvaulting, just check out the current Prime Vault that has been opened. So, you know, the equivalents. But the weapon set for Ash Prime is Vectis Prime. The weapon set available with Vauban Prime is Axolotl Prime and Fragor Prime. So we're going to have a look at the weapons and the warframes in the simulacrum. I'm going to have a look at each one. I'll give you my idea about their general viability and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get in there. Alright, let's start off with Vauban Prime and his bits and bobs. Starting of course with Vauban himself. I've already done a bit of a deep dive on Vauban Prime, so you can just go and check out that video if you want more details. But suffice to say, the main gist of Vauban Prime's power is the ability to strip armor. No matter what level the enemy is, he strips armor on a percentage per second basis, and then by activating the vortex you can clump everyone together. You can also increase your own damage, so that's really, really good. And then of course you can drop a space laser from space. So for those who are wondering, who didn't, check out that video real quick. Here is the Vauban build that I am using. I have actually changed it from that video, so now I'm no longer going hardcore on the power strength. I don't think that's necessary anymore. Instead, we're going to be using more range, more duration, so this has more utility, which seems to be more useful. But I guess the only thing that really changed is the power of overdrive. It used to be 46% with the previous build, now it's only 32%, but I didn't even use overdrive all that much in a normal match to begin with anyway. Now, moving on, we now have Axolotl Prime. So let's just crowd control these dudes. So the way Axolotl Prime works, it is a fast-firing status chance weapon. 2 clips will kill a level 100 corrupted heavy gunner. And this weapon is just powerful. It just is. Obviously, it's probably not the top tier weapon anymore. That would probably be the Catch Moon, except it's not the Catch Moon anymore. Allegedly, I don't know what the top tier, like, best secondary weapon in the game is anymore, but Axolotl Prime is still really, really good. And of course, if you want to pop nullifier bubbles, this weapon is always a good choice. And now finally we have a bit of a weird weapon. So had I recorded this video 3 days ago, I would tell you that this weapon is somewhere between painfully average and just bad. And had I recorded this video before the recent melee changes as part of update 26, also known as the Old Blood, I would have told you that this weapon was just bad. Like, didn't really have a place. Instead, now I am able to say that this weapon has a specific way of playing, and we're going to do this by first off chucking a vortex, and then we're going to use a heavy attack. There we go. Oh, one more. Who's left? Someone underground. So, the Fraggle Prime turns out is now the heaviest heavy hammer in the game. For a variety of reasons. Now, this is just a one formal build. If you're really into Fraggle Prime, if you try it out and you really like it, I would definitely recommend going hardcore and getting like 4 Former on this weapon. So you'll probably want to get another Former to put in Prime Fury, and I feel like you really need Prime Fury for this weapon simply because if you want to use any of the normal attacks without an attack speed mod, this weapon is slow as hell. And then you probably want to get another Former or even an Umbral Former so that you can put in Sacrificial Steel, because Sacrificial Steel, as of 2 days ago or a day ago, is now absurd. As well as True Steel. True Steel, I put in True Steel right now because that's also super duper good. It's already, in my opinion, it's already good enough. But if you have the space, Sacrificial Steel is just stupid because it is 220% critical chance times 2 for heavy attacks. So when you put this mod already on the Fraggle Prime, you can have a look at that via Brozyme's video, his recent video in fact. That brings it up to, I think it's like 100 and, I want to say 150% crit chance as a stat, and then it's times 2 on heavy attack. So that's times 2 of the additional 220% of the base 40%. So try to do the math. It comes out to around 250. I don't know, that's a rough guess. Either way, that's stupid. True Steel is already stupid as it is, so, you know, it's really good. And then you get to use Corrupt Charge, which is actually really powerful. It gives you 30% initial combo on top of the Fraggle Prime's base initial combo of 30. That's why the initial combo count is at 60, which is a 4 times combo multiplier. So let's just, oh, they're dead. So as you can see on the bottom right hand corner, it is a 4 times combo multiplier. I'll do a real deep dive on this later. But basically that's the gist. Heavy attacks all day, every day. You might as well put on Life Strike if you don't want to use some other thing for healing, because this appears to be the aim of the game with the Fraggle Prime. So those are the 3 parts of Vauban Prime and all of the things that they can do. Okay, time for Ash Prime and Vectis Prime. So we'll start off with Vectis Prime because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's essentially, you know, it's a sniper rifle, so all you got to do is aim for a head. And as you can see, the slash procs coming from Vectis Prime can be really powerful. Boom, just like that. One-shotting a level 100 Corrupted Heavy Gutter. Fantastic, awesome. Of course, it's a little bit difficult. We are relying on 2 things to get those headshot multipliers. And that head crit, wow, that was very fast. I don't even know what happened there. Definitely keeping this take, so let's not screw this up. So, if you get that viral proc and that slash proc, it's super duper good. So the build that we're using for Vectis Prime is very simply stock standard, because this is a very heavy crit weapon with a crit multiplier of 4.4 when you use Vital Sense, so that's a base crit multiplier of 2. Point Strike brings the base crit chance from, I believe it's like, I want to say 35 to 114. Actually, what is the base crit chance? Let's just have a little quick look, see. It's 30% base crit chance, that's what it is. Okay. So we're using Vectis Critadex. Extra crit chance, extra status chance. And it's because of that extra status chance we're able to get up to 97.6% along with 2 60/60 mods. Back then, it used to be that with this ribbon, I could get up to 99.9% status chance, which was super good. It wasn't as good as 100% status chance, obviously, but it's still really good. Since then, the Vectis ribbons have been nerfed. and the riven disposition has been lowered. So essentially, they looked at the stats, I guess, and said, wow, Vectis is really, really good. So, not only are we using the high status chance to try and get a slash proc, even though this weapon is not a slash based weapon, we're also using hunter munitions. So, that's the goal, to be able to get a viral proc and a slash proc, as you saw in some of those kills, is the best way to kill an enemy. Now, those slash procs would last a little less when you are not using Ash Prime, so just keep that in mind. The duration in which those slash procs hung around was simply because of Ash and his passive, which is bleed effects last 50% more, and they do 25% increased damage. So if your Vectis is kind of feeling a little bit weaker on the slash procs, it's because you're not using Ash. Now, Ash himself, I haven't played a lot of him, so this is just a simple zero former, my bad, zero former balanced build, mostly just using good old-fashioned, whatchamacallit, what's his fourth ability called again? Bladestorm. See, I haven't played him at all. The only thing that I would probably say is he's still probably just as useful as ever. I mean, I don't really care much for any of his other abilities, hashtag real talk. The only thing that really matters to me is Bladestorm. That seems to be the only thing that I care about. You know, just easy. There's a lot of slash procs going on here, and those guys are probably gonna all be dead very, very soon. Can't remember if I have to press 4 to do that, or if I press 3 to do that. Either way, they're all pretty much dead. With the exception of that one. Okay, there we go. Kind of used the melee weapon just for the hell of it. Not necessary in the slightest. Now, the only thing I guess that I could say about him that makes him particularly worthwhile is if you happen to be a Batman fan. So, if you really like Batman, you should definitely get the Ash I should be able to say this, Tsukuyomi skin, because coloring that black, or coloring it the way it's colored right now in the display picture, is super effective when you also have the Neighborous Ephemera, which is the Bat Ephemera. It is really, really good. If you pay attention to the way the clones are, so let's get some clones out. Notice how there are bats coming out of the clones as well. So when you are using the Batman skin and you have bats coming out with those clones, you can see that fashion frame wise, Ash can be a very, very effective WarFrame. Otherwise, Bladestorm is always really, really powerful. It always will be, because it's just slash procs for days. That's basically the gist. So that's Ash Prime, Vectis Prime. Yeah, easy. So that's Vauban and Ash Prime in action in the simulacrum and various other things. those will be, of course, the next Warframes that are coming out of the vault. That will be happening on November 19th, which is 4 days from recording, in which case, at that particular point in time, Saren and Valkyria Prime will be going right back in. So if you haven't gotten those two yet, you should get right on it, or at least get the relics so that you can get right on it whenever you want. Okay? Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you have any questions about Valkyria, Saren, Vauban, or Ash, actually, I'll just open it up completely. Let me just ask them in the comments. That's why I'm here. If you happen to have a particularly good build for Fraggle Prime, throw it in the comments because I am struggling. Really struggling. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.